Good morning, and welcome to Political Woodstock. Now, last night I did a phone bank for Bernie Sanders. I haven't done this in some time as I have been busy with rehearsals and performances and, well, life just got in the way. But it was pleasant and refreshing to call the good people of Missouri. I live in Oklahoma. I enjoyed calling people in Missouri. It made me feel, I don't want to say wonderful, but it was productive to be able to listen to other people as they voiced their concerns, their disdain, their support for Bernie, or perhaps another Democrat, such as Clinton. I do not hate Clinton, but I do believe that Bernie Sanders is the best choice. For the way I see it, I believe he is the better option, the better choice, the better chance of defeating whoever the Republican nominee may turn out to be. And heaven help us if it's Trump, right? Am I right or am I right? I mean, what do you guys think about all the rhetoric that he's been doing at his rallies? Or should I call them rallies? I don't know, they're like paid advertisements. I mean, instead of saying, you're fired, he's like, get him out, like a bad smoker's voice, the way he says it. Get him out of here! That's his new brand. Get him out of here. Well, when he throws everyone out, and he's done with everybody, who will he have left? Will it be you? He is such an elitist. He lives in an elite group of one. Not even his wife can make his group. I have great disdain for Donald Trump for not taking responsibility for the chaos that enveloped his recent rallies. He has no one to blame but himself in his misplaced words. Clinton did call it political arson, and I think that's true. When I think of Bernie, I think of political Woodstock, but that really doesn't go far enough. Because Bernie is consistently productive. He's consistent. I mean, there's speeches back to 1984. Kind of crazy to think that he was running for office in 1984 and accomplished that. About how he was talking about the elite, the 1%, even back in 1984. So I do believe him. Do I believe the others? The Republicans and other Democrats? Well, Clinton I have a hard time believing. O'Malley, I loved O'Malley. If he had had a good campaign, perhaps he would have been a better choice than Sanders even. But it is what it is. So are you concerned about the violence in this heated campaign? I don't see Bernie Sanders telling people to go out and protest against Trump. But he's an honest candidate and makes remarks about how his rallies are not like that. And of course, Trump responds back, or I should say reacts, because he did not respond. This was a reactionary tweet back to him, basically a threat that he would send his people to Bernie's rallies. And we know what type of people he was referring to. So, what will happen today because of the Trump rallies? Of the hate, the violence, the strong emotions expressed in Chicago? What is going to happen in Illinois? Now, I was talking to some other people that were phone banking. They were calling Illinois. And they were getting cursed out, hung up on, which is, being hung up on is actually quite normal if you phone bank. What is phone banking? Well, I'm glad you asked. Phone banking is when you have a candidate that you support or you decide to make calls and you'd say something like, I don't know, Jill. I'm Jill. I am with the Bernie Sanders campaign. I am a volunteer. We wanted to know if we could count on your support for the election tomorrow. It's kind of a loose script of what I was saying last night. Phone banking helps people know the numbers in the areas that need to be canvassed. So should you get one of these, feel free to ask the person questions. Find out what they know about the candidate. I like to fact check. I had one call so far on my landline about Hillary Clinton. If they could count on my support for Hillary Clinton. Now, inwardly, I'm chuckling. And then I start asking, how do you feel about Hillary Clinton? How does it feel to call for support about her? And then she went on, yada, 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 yada. I said, well, don't you feel uncomfortable? She's so hated. And then all the lies and the corruption. I was going on. And, in this small, timid voice, yes, I know, it's hard. I said, well, you can come over to our side. We can talk Bernie. We can talk about this. She goes, well, actually, I had campaigned for Bernie until someone thought I was a spy, which this really took me aback. But in the end of the conversation, she came back to Bernie Sanders. This is now campaigning for Bernie Sanders, the candidate that she truly supported. I say be honest in how you feel. If you don't want to support a candidate, by all means, don't. I don't see how people are getting so hogtied into supporting this candidate or that. I thank people if they're going to vote today, regardless if it's for my candidate or not. They need to hear us. And if for whatever reason you're supporting a certain candidate or not, they need to hear you. Your voice matters. It holds value. And it needs to be heard. One way to get your voice heard is to get out there and vote. Now, going over and above that, volunteering, I'm all so happy for you to do so. But really check out your candidate. Do the truth or opinion. When the candidate is talking, is it their opinion or is it a truth, something they're actually going to do? Everybody's got a wish list, and sometimes the candidates go down their wish list of how they would like the world to be, but the reality world's a different matter. Find out what their reality world is. And remember to respond and not react. It's so important. If you have a candidate that's reacting all the time, Trump, perhaps you should take a second look at that candidate. I'm just saying. When they don't know who David Duke is or the Klan, and, well, I don't know very much about those people. I'd have to look at them before I ruled them out. Are you kidding me? This is the guy in 2 seconds was like, get him out of here! I mean, if you had a Klan member come to your rally, couldn't you just say, get him out of here? Pretend they're at your rally. Would you want them there, Mr. Trump? Well, Mr. Trump is a driven man. He's gotten a lot by lying by omission. He'll say one thing but forget to add the other. It's not the whole truth. Maybe he was made for politics. Maybe he was. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm curious. Ooh, half-price movies? Where's that? Darn it. Oh, wow. If you have Cox Cable, they have movies for a half price today on Tuesday. Black Mass. I don't know what that movie is, but, it looks pretty good. Johnny Depp is in it. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted. I'm going to have to look at that. On movies and then special offers. I just did a commercial for Cox Cable. Oh, well. Well, there's drama at Spreaker, and I want no part of it. I don't know what's going on. Please don't tell me. And I really want to rally you guys to be educated about the candidate that you choose, or even be educated about the candidates you do not choose. I mean, who knows? Maybe by educating yourself about that candidate, you might find some things in common that you think are productive. Look at what's productive, what's doable, instead of the dream. You know, the liberals hugging the trees, and the world's not built that way. I wish we could be more eco-friendly, but that's not the reality. There are a lot more cheaper ways in the energy field, in the energy world, I should say. But they're not going to go for them because they're not as financially feasible for those petroleum companies. Petroleum. Looking at 156 delegates in Illinois. And the Sanders campaign is hoping for a Super Tuesday win, just as they did in Michigan. But unfortunately, Wasserman, the president of the Democratic National Committee, she's making it hard on the citizens at large. I think by the time we go state by state, as Sanders picks up more delegates, not super delegates, that the super delegates will change their mind, and they're capable of changing their mind. They don't have to stay committed, or some of them are not committed. I'll tell you one thing, there's going to be a big upset in Oklahoma at the Oklahoma State Convention this year. It's next month, and I'm feeling all kinds of nervous about it. I'll be there, but I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. We made a big change this last year. And the change was that we allowed independents to vote in our Democratic primaries. Well, some of these independents are now Democrats. I don't know. I mean, we could look at Ohio. The Sanders campaign's looking to have a really big upset in Ohio, yet Clinton's shown to be 54% ahead. So I don't know. The polling, what they do at the polls is they call your landlines. And usually it's the older people that have a landline still. And this is a very big factor that they have not, done an algorithm for. Because if you call older Democrats, more than likely they will support Clinton. Because they remember the good old days. Or maybe they're a Dixiecrat. Oh, I don't know. I hope this is true in Ohio, that there will be a big upset for the Sanders campaign. Because frankly, I don't like politics as usual. And I think this would be a welcome change. It'd be a refreshing air. And maybe, just maybe, all the senators and all the representatives would not feel as secure as they once did. Oh, we're going to have to really listen to the people now. And I think that's what Trump ironically brings to the table as well. With all his displaced anger, he's getting the senators and representatives to realize they really have to tap into what the people want. That means talking to them and listening to them and putting their worldview aside so they can meet the needs of their people. Because I think at this point, the people are ready to vote people out. The candidates, the politicians out of office. And it gives an opportunity for that renegade, for that independent, to come in and run for office. It's the Midwest that matters at this point. And it's a head-on battle with Clinton and Sanders. I don't know if you realize how important tonight is. I think this may be more key than Super Tuesday. Let's see here. I'm going to take a look at some stats, and we can discuss those. Let's look at the Fox network and see what they're showing. Something about a double standard. Oh, really? They had a Rubio protester that shoved somebody in January. Come on. I mean, it's every rally